Hey everybody, this is Mr. Graybow. I'm going to lead you through this carbon cycle quantitative model. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be creating what's called a quantitative model of the carbon cycle. We're going to use the values and the data that's in each of these spheres and see if we can figure out what's going on as far as how much carbon is going in and out of the system. Okay, so we are going to be able to look at these 4 different stations here, and below this is where our data is going to go into. So I'm going to lead you through station number 1, which is the biosphere. So my first direction is to label the different arrows on this process, okay? The different processes in this picture here. So my first one, I know that letter A is photosynthesis. Okay, I know that letter E is this fire here, that is deforestation. Letter B, from this lamb to the atmosphere, I know that that is the process of respiration. And letter D is the process of decomposition. Okay, so that's my first step. Now, in my second step here, what I want to be doing is I'm going to use the letters on each arrow to match the term to the table. Okay, so I'm going to match the term to the table, the red lines. So if I look at my station number 1 here, okay, I'm looking at the biosphere, letter A, I'm going to find that letter A in my picture. Here's letter A. That is photosynthesis, so I'm going to put that into here. So that is photosynthesis. Okay. Now I want to also note that these right here in this first column, these are inputs. These are where carbon is going into this system. Photosynthesis, carbon is going into the biosphere. So this blank here is how much carbon is going into the biosphere through the process of photosynthesis. I'm going to look at my picture. It looks like 700 carbon. Okay, 700. Okay, so the total amount of inputs, I'm just going to add them up, and there's only one, so that makes it nice and easy, is 700. 700 units of carbon. Now in the next column, I want to look at my outputs. So here are my outputs. I'm going to look at letter B first. So letter B right here, it's referring to respiration, and it's a value of 200. So I'm going to go ahead and fill that in for one of my outputs. Respiration, 200 units of carbon. Okay, now I'm on letter D. Back up to my picture, letter D. You can see right here is letter D. This is the process of decomposition. When the animal dies, the carbon is going down into the geosphere, and it's 150. So go ahead and fill that in. So decomposition, 150 units. All right, letter E. Letter E, I can see, is deforestation, 500 units of carbon. Deforestation is 500 units of carbon. So my total outputs, I'm just going to add up my total outputs. I got, looks like 850 units of carbon. Okay, now my last column here is the change in carbon. So what is my net carbon going in or out of the biosphere? So for this, I need to do a little subtraction. It tells us how to do that right here in the directions, is I just need to subtract them. I have, just going to take my biggest number, which is 850, right here, 850, and I'm going to subtract my smaller number, which is my input. So I'm going to take 850, subtract 700, and I get a total of 150 units of carbon. Now, my bigger number, right here, this was my output, so I know that more is going out of this system than into this system by 150. So I'm going to put 150. So we have a net of 150 going out of the biosphere. Okay, now I'm going to do that for each of the 4 stations, and then we'll answer the couple questions at the bottom. Okay, good luck.